بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين إلى يوم الدين أما بعد. Mother and Mother's Day are two contradictory statements, two contradictory concepts. A mother is a mother every day, every night, all year, till her last breath. Not one day of the year where this one person is honored and respected. The mizaj and the temperament of Deen demands the children to fulfill the hukuk of their parents in all conditions without any excuses. Yes, if there is a need for mashwara and discussing with the ulama where Shariat has given an exception, then that is in its place. But the mother never made excuses when carrying the child in the stomach, when giving birth, and the sleepless nights, and the restless days, and the difficulties and the hardships that she bore to bring this child up, to give him the correct upbringing. That's why it is said to the mother that to the world you are one person, but to me you are the world. The world, you may be one person, but to me you are the world. And I am strong because a strong woman raised me. I am strong because a strong woman raised me. Your mother is your first friend, she is your first best friend, and she is your friend forever. Mothers are like glue. Even when you can't see them, they still hold in everything together. They still hold in everything together. Value her for you to become valuable. Before she passes away, then it'll be too late to hold her value. Motherhood is really an exquisite inconvenience of being another person's everything. The mother does everything to make sure the child's needs. She checks on him all the time. It's your food, your clothing, you're this here, you're that. All the time restless. Go on, where are you? Are you okay? Have you reached? Message when you're back. Are you on your way? Are you en route? I didn't receive your messages. So, إِنَّ اللَّهَ حَرَّمَ عَلَيْكُمْ عُقُوقَ الْأُمَّهَاتِ. Nabi alayhi salam has dedicated, specifically mentioned the mothers. Allah has made haram, has forbidden you to disobey your mother. The scholars, Hafiz ibn Hajar Asqalani rahimahullah, commentating on this narration, says that the mothers are mentioned specifically لأن العقوق إليهن أسرع, because there is a greater possibility of causing inconvenience and disobeying the mother than the father, because women are of the weaker jins, creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So preference is given to the mother first over the father. Imam Nawawi rahimahullah has mentioned وَأَمَّا أُقُوقُ الْأُمَّهَاتِ فَحَرَامٌ. It is haram to disobey your mother. وَهُوَ مِنْ كَبَائِرٍ, and it is amongst the major sins بِإِجْمَاعِ الْعُلَمَاءِ. And the scholars are unanimous. To such an extent, the scholars have mentioned a fiqhi masla. إذا نادته وهو في صلاة النافلة, if the mother calls the child and they are in nafal salah, then they should break their salah. وَيُجِيبُ أُمَّهُ, and he should obey his mother. Makhool used to say that if your mother calls you وَأَنْتَ فِي الصَّلَاةِ فَأَجِبْهَا, obey her, fulfill her need, rush to fulfill her requirement. Don't give her inconvenience. Nowadays people are busy with their cell phones, busy with the television set, busy with the PlayStations, and they busy, too busy for their mother. How many times repeatedly she has to call you and you dare disobey? If she called you once and you never listened, you have disobeyed your mother. وَقَالَتْ لِأُخْتِهِ قُسِّيهِ, this concern, this worry, this gham, this grief of the mother, she doesn't rest until you are comfortable. فَرَدَدْنَاهُ إِلَى أُمِّهِ كَيْ تَقَرَّ عَيْنُهَا. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explaining the concern of the mother Musa alayhi salam for her son, that we return the son so that it would be a coolness to the eyes, وَلَا تَحْزَنْ, and she wouldn't have this grief. So explaining the mindset of a mother, Quran is explaining us to show us the importance of the mother. فَرَجَعْنَاكَ إِلَى أُمِّكَ. So this verse highlights the concern of a mother for the child. Hazrat Muawiyah bin Sulami radhiyallahu anh repeated to Nabi alayhi salam, asking him about jihad, asking him to go out in the path of Allah and strive in jihad in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Nabi alayhi salam repeatedly said on every occasion, وَيْهَكَ أَحَيَّ أُمُّكَ, destruction, destruction. Is your mother alive? Naam ya Rasulullah, she is alive, yes. وَيْهَكَ, hold steadfast rijlaha, onto her feet, then is Jannat. Hold steadfast onto her feet, then is Jannah. The riwayat of Ahmad, hold steadfast, فَإِنَّ الْجَنَّةَ عِنْدَ رِجْلِهَا, Jannat lies below her feet. So when you have a treasure and you don't know its value, it will be left. We have not understood the value of our parents and the value of a mother, and Quran, a hadith has highlighted this value, has emphasized this value, so that the ummah can fulfill the huquq, fulfill the rights. Some Sulaha used to grab the feet of their mother and kiss the feet, and this person وَكَانَ يُقَبِّلُ قَدَمَ أُمِّهِ كُلَّ يَوْمٍ, and every day that was his routine. So one day his friends were waiting for him and he got delayed, but he had to go first. So it's important that our first viewing, our first khidmat, our first opportunity to make sure our mother is happy, take out time every day. If she's in your vicinity, visit her every day. And she's far away, give her a call, see what her needs are. Make sure daily you don't break the tie. and tie this loose knot. So his students asked him, what happened? So he said, I was busy in the gardens of Jannah. فَقَدْ بَلَغَنَا أَنَّ الْجَنَّةَ تَحْتَ أَقْدَامِ الْأُمَّهَاتِ. I was busy in the gardens of Jannah because of this khidmah. When the mother of Qadiyas passed away, he was in tears. So people said, Ma yubkik ya Aba Wathila, why are you in tears? So he replied, Subhanallah, Kana li baban maftuhan min al-Jannah. There were two doors open towards Jannah. فَأُغْلِقَ أَحَدُهُمَا. One of them just closed now. That's why I am crying. Riwayat of Anas radhiyallahu anhu, a person came to Nabi alayhi salam and he said, Inni ashtahil jihad wa inni la aqdiru alayhi. I want to go out in the path of Allah, I don't know if I can manage. Hal baqiya ahadun min walidayk. Are any of your parents alive? Qala ummi, my mother. فَإِنَّكَ إِذَا فَعَلْتَ ذَلِكَ. So concentrate in being good to your mother, because if you do that, فَأَنْتَ حَاجٌ وَمُعْتَمِرٌ وَمُجَاهِدٌ. Then as if you are a haji, a person striving to perform hajj, and you are mu'tamir, a person doing umrah, and you are a mujahid collectively. إِذَا رَضِيَتْ عَنْكَ أُمُّكَ. And if your mother is happy with you, then this is the virtue. فَاتَّقِ اللَّهِ فِي بِرِّهَا. Be cautious to fulfill her rights. Ibn Abbas radhiyallahu anhuma was of the opinion that piety, goodness, caution and honoring one's mother is amongst the greatest of good deeds. Inni la a'lamu amalan aqrab ila Allahi azza wa jal. I do not know any amal which will take a person closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than being good to your mother. Ibn Umar radiyallahu anhu used to say to a person, Wallahi, 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 by the oath of Allah, if you speak good words to her, وَأَطْعَمْتَهَا طَعَامًا, and you give her food, you look after her needs, لَتَدْخُلَنَّ الْجَنَّةَ مَجْتَنَبْتَ الْكَبَائِرِ. As long as you stay away from major sins, this is a sign that you are a Jannati. Muhammad ibn Munkadir used to say that Bata akhi Umar yusalli. My brother Umar spent the entire night in Tahajjud reading Salaah, and I spent the night wa bittu. I spent the entire night pressing the feet of my mother. وَمَا أُحِبُّ أَنَّ لَيْلَتِي بِلَيْلَتِهِ. I would never want my night to be replaced with his night, meaning I will never exchange my night for his night. Hisham bin Hassan used to say to Hasan, Inni ata'allamu al-Quran, that I am engaged in the Quran and my mother is waiting for me. Supper time, wa ummi tantadhirni, she is waiting. So Hassan told him that have supper ma'a ummuk, with your mother. Have supper ma'a ummik taqirru bihi aynuha, so that your company will be a coolness to her eyes. أحب إلي من حجة تحجها تطوعا. That more better, more beloved than performing Hajj. Many Hajjas, if you can do, cannot be compared to your mother being happy with you. So we have underestimated the value of the mothers of this ummah. Bishr bin Harith used to say, Al-waladu bil-qurb min ummihi haythu tasma' أفضل من الذي يضرب بسيفه في سبيل الله. A child, a son close to his mother, fulfilling her needs, is better than striking your sword in the path of Allah. وَالنَّذْرُ إِلَيْهَا أَفْضَلُ مِنْ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ. And looking at your mother is more virtuous than everything. And this is amongst the greatest needs of the time, to value the parents, to value the mother, to value the sacrifices that were given. That's why Isa alayhi salam, when he spoke while he was in the cradle, وَأَوْصَانِي بِالصَّلَاةِ وَالزَّكَاةِ مَا دُمْتُ حَيًّا. That these are the commands of Allah I need to fulfill. And then وَبَرًّا بِوَالِدَتِي, and to have husn suluk, to treat my mother in the best form. So honoring the mothers, because the mothers of the ummah are the ones who have made the sacrifices and they've strove, and they are the mothers who gave birth to Anbiya alayhimus salatu wassalam. We look at Afghanistan, it's called the graveyard of empires. People praise the Mujahideen, but in this graveyard of empires, who had the grave concern in their yards for the children, for the Mujahideen? The grave concern in the yards were the mothers of this ummah who nurtured those children to become those warriors of Islam. So we underestimate the power of the women of this ummah, but we don't realize Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put so much potential in every female of this ummah. There was a father who only had daughters. He wished for a boy, and his wife only gave birth to girls. Eventually he had 6 daughters. After some time the wife was expecting, and he was afraid she may give birth to a girl. So Shaitan incited the father, and he took an oath, if a girl is born, then this wife is divorced. That night when he went to go sleep, he saw a dream where it was Qiyamah, and his sins were in multifold, and he was destined to Jahannam, hellfire. The angels took hold of him and were going to take him to the hellfire. When they reached the first door of Jahannam, one of his daughters was standing there as a barrier, blocking the Farishtas from throwing him into Jahannam. They went to the second door. The second daughter was there as a barrier. Whichever door the angels wanted to take him to Jahannam, there was a daughter blockading them from entering. When the angels went to the 7th door of Jahannam, the man was worried because he only had 6 daughters, and they were at the 7th door. So at that point in time he woke up and he realized his mistake for saying the statement, and in this fear he made dua to Allah, "O Allah," as he woke up, "please give me a 7th daughter. Ya Allah, give me a 7th daughter." So we've not understood the value of the mothers of the ummah, the daughters of the ummah, the sisters of the ummah, the wives of the ummah, the mothers of the ummah. Maulana Ilyas Mullah, a great reviver of the century, was brought up in a household of piety. His mother was a hafidha of the Quran, and it was a habit in the month of Ramadan to recite a khatam of Quran and 10 ajza, 40 paras daily in Ramadan, despite all the household duties and responsibilities which the ladies and the mothers of the Ummah did themselves. Besides that, the daily routine was Durood Sharif 5,000 times, Isme Zat, the name of Allah 5,000 times, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim 1,000 times, Ya Mughni 1,100 times, La ilaha illallah 1,200 times, Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum 200 times, Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil 500 times, Subhanallah 200, Alhamdulillah 200, La ilaha illallah 200, Allahu Akbar 200, Istighfar 500 times, Ufawfidhu Amri ilallah 100 times, Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil 1,000 times, Rabbi inni maghlubun fantasir 1,000 times, Rabbi inni massani ad-durru 100 times, La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu min al-zalimin 100 times. These were the mothers of the Ummah who left a legacy and showed us a path which is a lesson for us. May Allah give us tawfiq of valuing them. The amal for today is Inna ahabba salatil mar'ati, the best salat, the most beloved salat in the eyes of Allah, fi ashaddi makanin fi baytiha dhulma, that salat which is offered in the darkest place of a home, the most invisible place in a home. Wa akhiru dawana anil hamdulillahi rabbil alameen.